It's Monday during high school football season, and that means we have rankings this time, Class 3A. And you're going to want to tune into this. Just three teams stayed in the same spot as last week. That means we got 13 movers, new people, people moving up, people moving down. We've got a ton of stuff. Let me show this. Boom. Week 3 rankings, Class 3A. Buckle up. This one has a ton of stuff, ton of movement, and maybe a new number one. Yeah, you'll have to see, hang out, and find out. Again, let's get into our 16 through 11. 16, Fort Madison. They are new to our rankings. They beat Fairfield 21-14. They are 2-0, so they earn a spot at the number 16 slot. Number 15, Bishop Heelan. They are 2-0 as well. They are also new. They beat Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln 57-13. Again, they beat Kemper Catholic in week 1. So two wins for Bishop Heelan has them at number 15. At number 14, Hampton Dumont Cal. They beat Clorian Goldfield Dallas 34-7. So they will hold down this number 14 spot. In Solon, they beat Clear Creek Amana 7-3 in a slugfest down there at Solon. They moved down a few spots. They'll hold down number 13 this week. At number 12, Central DeWitt. They move up 2 spots after beating Northeast 37-14. Northeast are ranked 2A squad, so pretty good win there. And at number 11, Atlantic. A tough loss them to Glenwood 47-6. Again, Glenwood is a team above them, so can't knock them too much, but really hoping to see a little bit more from the Trojans in week 2 against Glenwood. So they move down and out of the top 10. Plenty of room for them to move up, though. Again, I do not make these rankings. I am simply the messenger, but feel free to comment whether you agree, disagree, what you think needs fixed. We love tuning into that type of stuff. But without further ado, let's get into the top 10. At number 10, Benton. Benton has shown to be a very good team thus far. They move up 2 spots, hold down, and crack into our top 10. Their defense only allowed 7 points in their 2 games played, while their offense has scored 87 total, so convincing wins for Benton. Although they haven't had the strongest opponents, they will get a crack at the top team in 3A later this week to possibly prove themselves as a serious threat in this class. At number 9, Assumption. This is one of the few teams that has stayed the same from last week. Offense shines bright for Assumption, scoring 48 in their route to beating Davenport North. Angelo Jackson proving to be a rising star in Iowa. Had himself a day, rushing for 203 yards and 4 touchdowns. Again, they hold down the number 9 spot. At number 8, Nevada. Nevada. I pronounce it both ways. I always get told it's Nevada. At number 8, they move up 2 spots from 10 to 8. Been really impressed with the way the Cubs have played, being able to establish a strong rushing game while also keeping the pass game in their back pocket. Our 3A ranker says he's liked this team since the preseason, and he's looking forward as they continue to rise. They get to take on a huge test this week in one of 4A's elite, Titus Cram. I believe that matchup is this week, so the Wolf Pack will take on the Blue Jays. That one should be fun. At number 7, wait, let me dig into that quick as we sit here. I don't know if they actually play each other. Give me 2 seconds. I think that was our scrimmage, and our ranker just got a little bit confused. Let me see. The Wolf Pack, they actually square off this week against PCM. So yeah, the Bondurant game, that was a scrimmage. It just looks unbound like it's their next game when it's not. Yeah, Friday, September 8th, they got PCM, and that's a ranked 2A squad. So Nevada and PCM. At number 7, Independence. If you don't know the name EJ Miller, you might want to jot it down. He's the quarterback for Independence, and he's had a heck of a start to his campaign. They take care of their weaker opponent in Crestwood, piling on 39 points while only allowing 13. The game they should have won. Next week brings another opponent in walk-on, which you'd think they'd take care of business in. So Independence, they're going to look to hold down a spot in our top 10 this week. They're at number 7. Humboldt at now the number 4 spot. Now that they do drop a little bit, and it's not really because of them. It's because the teams behind them putting on some impressive shows. So Humboldt, they drop. They score all 14 points in the second quarter, narrowly edging out Ballard that looked to upset them. They get lost in this week's rankings because of huge wins from teams around them, like I said. So they fall this week. They could just be one big victory away from rise back into our top five. I'm going to check who they play this week really quick. Again, they beat Ballard 14-13. So a close win there. No Lance Kuhn yet in the rosters, it looks like. So they might be without the star running back, as they will get Van Meter. Hey, how about that? Van Meter and North Polk, the next two games for Humboldt this season. So two chances at some quality wins against the number 2 team in 2A and then a top 5 team in Class 4A. So Humboldt, they dropped 4 spots this week, but plenty of chances to rise over the next 2 weeks. And without further ado, let's get into our top 5. And at number 5, Creston. I don't know if you guys saw the reel from Nick and I's week 2 preview show, but I picked Creston. I thought they were one of my favorites as an upset, and they did just that, beating Lewis Central. And like I said, right, I'm reading it right now. Our 3A ranker typed, "What a prediction from Cade." I know. I'll try it again this week. I'll pick an upset team, but Creston gets a huge victory over the number 3 ranked team in Class 4A, Lewis Central. Lewis Central almost came back and stole that game. Creston was able to hold off just long enough to take a victory for one of the top teams. And that immediately puts Creston in the conversation for a dome appearance. I mean, it really does. Creston, Brennan Hayes is a star. We're going to talk about them plenty on the week 3 preview show coming out Thursday. But Creston, kudos to you guys. Huge victory, cracking our top 5. At number 4, Webster City, they hold this spot down. They take a really nice win over a ranked 4A team in Spencer in convincing fashion. Jackson Cherry, a household name in Iowa high school football. He's one of the best running backs in the entire state, and in that Webster City offense where they excel at getting running backs, great touches. He ran for 321 yards and 5 touchdowns in the win. Webster City threw the ball twice in that game, and we're still able to pick up a convincing win. So Webster City, they are an extremely tough team to beat. You got to be disciplined on all ends on defense if you want to beat that team, and we're going to see if anyone can do that the rest of the way. At number 3, Harlan, senior Will Arkfeld leads the way for the Cyclones, throwing for 297 yards, 4 touchdowns. Although the week 1 loss to 4A Lewis Central doesn't feel nice, they do get a nice victory in week 2 to show they are still a powerhouse in week 3. So they will hold down that number 3 spot at 1-1, their record right now. At number 2, Mount Vernon. Again, this isn't anything Mount Vernon does. I know people are going to be like, oh, Mount Vernon did nothing to lose the number 1 spot. No, they didn't. They are well deserving of the number 1 spot, but the team above them, they just deserve it more at this point. But Mount Vernon, they continue their early season success, 33-0 shutout victory over Union. Impressive play, continues to shine another week as they beat Union. But leading into our number 1 team, really the storyline, I think, in all of high school football in week 2, Williamsburg going on the road, beating perennial power and number 1 Class 4A Xavier. An absolute incredible game. I followed that game on Twitter through Jeff Linder. He does a great job. I was checking notifications like crazy on that score. But who would have thought? I mean, I don't think anyone picked them. I know that bound graphic, no one picked them. I don't know if I would have either. An impressive win over West Branch team in week 1, just to follow that up with the win of the year so far in the state of Iowa over Xavier. And Williamsburg immediately puts themselves as one of the, if not the favorite in Class 3A. Kellen Cockrell, Braylon Weechin, Derek Weiskopf. I mean, this team is full of stars, and they're proving it, and it's going to be a surprise if they fall before the Unidome. So we're going to be watching them really closely throughout the rest of the year. I'm going to try and get some more coverage on them. But Williamsburg, team of the week in Class 3A, and probably team of the week in the entire state of Iowa. Kudos to you guys, the Raiders. They are hot and they are ready to roll, and they're only getting started over there. So that's all we got for Class 3A. Again, be sure to leave a comment, agree, disagree. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Who should we look out for that's not in our top 16? We want to hear from you guys. Your opinion matters to us, and we love listening to what you guys have to say. So without further ado, that's all we got. And we are excited to catch you guys next week for next week's Class 3 rankings. Be sure to go check out the rest of the rankings on our YouTube and follow IA Sports and IA Football on all socials. Yep. Have a good one, guys.